Chartres Cathedral was largely rebuilt in 26 years, not started. Rebuilt after a fire destroyed most of the previous structure in 1294. The Gothic cathedral that stands today, with its flying buttresses, its 176-foot nave, its 10,000 square feet of stained glass, built in 26 years, using hand tools. Horse-drawn carts, no electricity, no steel, no concrete, no computers. The Bay Bridge Eastern Span replacement in San Francisco, a single bridge connecting two existing structures, took 24 years from planning to completion, cost $6.4 billion, and was described by engineers at the time as one of the most complex infrastructure projects in American history. One Gothic cathedral rebuilt from ruins, 26 years. One bridge span, 24 years and $6.4 billion. The obvious question is, what changed? The answer is in the archive, and it has nothing to do with lost knowledge, forgotten techniques, or anything that can't be explained. Start with what medieval cathedral construction actually was. The standard image is romantic. Medieval craftsmen, generation after generation, laboring on a project none of them would live to see completed. And for some cathedrals, that is accurate. Cologne Cathedral was started in 1248, largely halted in 1473, and finally completed in 1880, 632 years after the first stone was laid. But the Cologne story is the exception, not the rule. Many major cathedrals were built with remarkable speed when funding and political will were concentrated. At Winchester, during the Norman period, an entire cathedral of unprecedented size, begun in 1079, was built from scratch in less than 20 years. Salisbury Cathedral, one of the most architecturally unified Gothic structures in England, was substantially complete in 38 years. Chartres in 26. Wells Cathedral in roughly 50 years. These were not small buildings. Salisbury's spire, at 404 feet, remained the tallest structure in Britain for centuries. Wells has one of the most complex facades in medieval architecture. These were massive, technically demanding, structurally innovative projects, completed faster than many modern highway interchanges. How? The difference between Chartres in 26 years and the Bay Bridge in 24 years is not tools or knowledge. It is something much simpler and much harder to replicate. Medieval builders didn't have what modern builders have, and that absence was the advantage. They didn't have environmental impact studies. They didn't have public comment periods. They didn't have competing jurisdictional authorities, federal, state, county, municipal, each with veto power over different aspects of the project. They didn't have unions governing which worker could perform which task. They didn't have liability insurance requirements that prohibited certain construction methods. They didn't have historic preservation reviews, archaeological surveys, or accessibility compliance mandates. They had a bishop, a master mason, a source of funding, and workers. The master mason, figures like Gautier de Varinfroy, who contracted to build Évreux Cathedral in 1253, was responsible for every aspect of construction. His contract survives in the archive. It required him to live in Évreux for the duration of the project and to never be absent from the construction site for more than 2 months at a time. One person, total authority, continuous presence. If something went wrong, there was no committee to convene. There was one man who had to solve it by morning. In 2001, a woman named Rita Lavelle, a Boston resident whose neighborhood was directly affected by the Big Dig, spent 7 years fighting for adequate noise barriers and dust controls during construction near her home. She had legal rights. She had recourse. She used both. The medieval equivalent of Rita Lavelle had no recourse at all. Modern infrastructure projects involve hundreds of stakeholders with competing interests, overlapping jurisdictions, and legal mechanisms that allow any one of them to delay or block the project. The Big Dig was conceived in 1982 and completed in 2007, a span of 25 years. It cost $14.6 billion, roughly 8 times its original budget. The technology was not the bottleneck, the coordination was. Now here is the part that doesn't fit the simple narrative. Medieval construction was not frictionless. Construction levies led, in many cases including in Troyes, Beauvais, and Chartres, to repeated riots in opposition. The Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela was fortified after the town attempted to burn it down and assassinate the bishop. Medieval cathedral projects were sometimes instruments of coercion. The bishop had the power of the state behind him, and the workers who built the cathedral did not always do so voluntarily. The speed of medieval construction sometimes reflects not technical efficiency, but the concentration of power in the hands of people who could compel labor and suppress opposition. The modern regulatory environment that slows construction, the environmental reviews, the public comment periods, the competing jurisdictions, exists precisely because of what happened when those protections didn't exist. The people displaced for the Big Dig had legal recourse. The people whose homes were cleared for Chartres did not. This is the part of the comparison that almost never appears in the "why don't we build like the medievals" conversation. But there is a legitimate version of the argument that the archive supports. The National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., begun in 1907, substantially completed in 1990, took 83 years. Not because of medieval-style complexity, because funding was intermittent, the design kept changing, and the project was managed by a committee that never had the singular authority of a medieval master mason. The Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, begun in 1882, still under construction today, has taken over 140 years so far. Not because the construction is technically impossible with modern tools, because Gaudí's design is extraordinarily complex. Funding comes entirely from visitor admissions and donations. And after Gaudí's death in 1926, there was no single authority with the power to make binding decisions about how to proceed. In both cases, the bottleneck is not technology, it's governance. When medieval construction was fast, it was fast because authority was concentrated. One bishop, one master mason, one source of funding with no competing claims. The design was fixed and not subject to revision. The workforce was available and not subject to competing regulatory requirements. When modern construction is slow, it is slow for the inverse of every one of those reasons. The archive doesn't support the idea that medieval builders had knowledge we've lost. It supports something more specific and more interesting. That speed of construction is a function of how decisions get made, not how stones get cut. Chartres in 26 years. The Bay Bridge in 24 years and $6.4 billion. The difference is not technique, it's authority, continuity, and the absence of the mechanisms we have built deliberately to prevent any single person from having the power the Bishop of Chartres had in 1194. Whether that's a problem or a feature depends on what you think construction is for. This channel follows what the archive actually shows. Not the romantic version, not the conspiracy version, but the documented record. The video before this one was about streets that encode centuries of forgotten history. The video before that was about photographs in the archive that don't match what they're supposed to show. If this is the kind of content you want more of, the subscribe button is right there. And it actually helps the algorithm decide whether to show this to more people who need to hear it. What's the infrastructure project near you that has been delayed longest? And do you know why? Drop it in the comments.